And good morning to you, my very dear friends. Once again, you're tuned in to the Voice of the Hanuman Mission, our weekly educational segment called The Beauty of Knowing, brought to you by the sponsor you would see on the screen. I am yours truly, Mahantji, Dr. Balliram Chadee, and I will do my endeavor best this morning to share another topic with you. One of the topics that has been circling around for generations, and people have asked many times if it's valid, if it's not valid, if it's worthy, if it's not worthy. Does it work? Does it not work? Is a topic that we call Jhaaray, or a word that you would have probably heard called Jhaaray or Jhaaray. In case you have heard it, then you would understand what I'm going to talk about. If you have not heard this word, Jhaaray simply means the act of, the process of removing. Jhaaray means to remove. And remove what? Remove illness, sickness, fear, troubles, fright, disturbances, or some unpleasant or unwanted circumstance from the life of a person. Every religion uses Jhaaray, or the process or the symbolism of Jhaaray, in their own rights. I know for a fact my Christian friends use the Holy Cross and the crucifix, and they swing it like this with the holy water, and they bless the Catholics and the Christians. That's their process of Jhaaray. The Muslims, the Imams, we know, use water, they bless, and they also offer the Ashirvad, and they help remove the problems from followers. The Hindus, like myself and many of us, you would know, offer Jhaaray or prayer for various things. Some of the most common things that we Jhaaray for would be when people are sick, when people are scared, when people have personal health problems, when people are suffering the effects of a death in a family and they are disturbed, their mind is unfocused, their mind cannot concentrate, when people have troubles, loss of a job for example, when people have things like jaundice and heart problems and all these things. A variety of reasons people are disturbed. One way you could summarize it, when people are uneasy or unsettled, they use what we call Jhaaray. Different people Jhaaray differently. In days gone by, many of us from the Caribbean or probably from India would see people measure in their hand about this length. Through these three fingers, they'll measure something what we call the broomstick, and they'll measure it to a length, and then they'll have three broomsticks, and they will actually wave it in a format while reciting a Sanskrit chant that they would have received from a guru or pandit called Guru Diksha. They will get the blessings to perform that. Other people would raise their hand like this, and they would touch the person's head. So for example, they will put your hand on their head, as many times I do or other pandits do. They will put their hands on the person's head, they will close their eyes, they will recite certain mantras, and then at the end of that, they will actually blow on a person. You will see something like, and you'll see it actually blowing another person. Sometimes we take kush grass or neem leaf, tulsi leaf, depends on the message that we get from God at that point in time. At least this is how I operate. Depends on the message I get from God, how to help that person. I would take that certain leaf and would actually pass it across the entire person's body, left, right, and center, through across the body from head to toe. The process is intended to rid the person of the trouble, the unsettling behavior, the unfocused mind, the ill health. That's the purpose of Jhaaray. That's why we use Jhaaray. Now, many times people debate Jhaaray. Does it work? My dear friends, it is said, when God prevails, doctors fail. And when doctors fail, God prevails. In other words, many of us have had a family, friend, or loved one in the hospital. And doctors have basically said this person is not going to survive, this person is going to die, or there's nothing medically we can do for that person. And many of you, like I have done, have invited a pandit, a priest, or somebody else to come to that hospital and pray for that person in their own rights. And that person has recovered miraculously with the same medicine, under the same doctor's care, under the same treatment. How do we explain that? Coincidence or the presence of God? We as Hindu believe that's the power of Jhaaray and prayer. I would like to summarize my discussion on Jhaaray this morning with an example that happened in real life. A gentleman who died now, and may his soul rest in peace, was at the hospital. He was given up, so to speak, by the doctors. He was told that he would not survive. His family were told he cannot be cured. His pressure pressure reading, blood pressure was beyond reading of the meter. They could not. For 2 days, I was invited to go to prayer, and I did. And during the Hanuman Stavan and the Hanuman prayer and the special prayer that I use at hospitals, as my eyes were closed and we were praying, my hand was like this across the bed of the gentleman. The blood pressure reading started to drop. Normal. I did not see it. I was told of it by family members who witnessed it. So I'm not telling you what I saw, I'm telling you what I heard. And as I put my hands like this and I prayed for that gentleman, the blood pressure in my Jhaaray reduced to normalcy beyond the imagination of the family members and the doctor. 5 minutes later, the gentleman got up from his bed, walked to me in the washroom where I was ungowned in to leave the room, bowed at my feet and gave a donation to the Hanuman mission and wished me and my family the blessings of Hanuman. A gentleman who could not basically get up from bed 5 minutes before. That is an example of the power of Jhaaray. I am fortunate to Jhaaray many things, including jaundice, one of the very few people in this city who was blessed by Hanumanji to do that. Many of your Pandits, your Swamis, your Mahants, your Sadhus, whoever have been blessed to do this type of job. And I congratulate them for doing that. As I summarized to you this morning, I just wanted to share what Jhaaray is, why it is important, why as Hindus we believe in it, how it has helped cure our family and friends, and why we continue to believe in the power of prayer and the first form of healing we as Hindus know called Jhaaray, or to help people from their sickness. Now that you know, for the beauty of knowing, for the voice of the Hanuman mission, I am Mahantji, Dr. Balliram Chadee, bidding you the blessings of Sri Hanumanji now and always. Until next week's topic, Jai Sitaram.